Welcome back again. You're still watching us here in Africa Today, and as I mentioned a couple of moments ago before the report, our main topic for today is going to be about Nile's waterfall, Egypt's waterfall, and particularly the GERD, or what is known as the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. We're very much delighted to have joining us here in the studio for more shed light on this topic is Mr. Ahmad Ezz. He is the honorary chairman of Al-Wafd Party. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for asking me.
It's always a pleasure. And to let people get to know more about it, or for those who are not really much aware of what GERD is, as I said, it's the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. It is on the Blue Nile, being built and constructed by Ethiopia, reaching quite a huge percentage of it's already built, and Egypt is concerned that it would possibly be affecting its 55 cubic meters, if I am correct about that, in its share of waters, and it is going to be the biggest, actually, dam in Africa to form hydroelectric power to Ethiopia. Now, there is no doubt that anybody would want to interfere with the internal policies of any neighboring country, or sort of be a barrier on what other countries in Africa would want to do for the sake of the benefit of their development and production. But as long as it does not touch or affect the national security of its neighboring country.
Absolutely.
And that is the question that many people who might not be very much aware of the situation are asking. Why is Egypt quiet until now, knowing that it is going to affect the watersheds?
Let me tell you from the start that certain circles that are hostile to Egypt are exaggerating the danger of this dam completely, to fan the enmity between Egypt and Ethiopia and to make destabilization of this
who are these people? Because we see experts in water, Egyptian experts, who come out always all the time talking about this.
Talking about hostile foreign circles.
Yes.
You want some names?
No, I don't want names, but I just wanted a bit clarifying which angle you're focusing on.
What countries have the interest of destabilizing the Nile Valley and destroying Egypt's relation with Ethiopia. The Ethiopians have no way and no interest in moving the water from westward to eastward. They are filling the dam, and then the dam will still continue to the Blue Nile. It might take time to fill the dam.
Does it take 3 years?
Well, it depends on how fast do you want to fill it. If you want to fill it very fast, it will affect Egypt for some time. But Egypt is not without alternatives. And just to give you an example, we have now a very good, friendly relation with South of Sudan. The Junguli Canal from South Sudan through the up to the White Nile can give Egypt, if it was allowed. During the civil war in Sudan, it was bombarded several times, so it couldn't be complete. Now you can complete. It gives Egypt 8 million.
Yeah, but I mean, are the security status in South Sudan a comfort atmosphere and ground for it to sort of pursue with its developmental project?
Not when it comes to Egypt, because Egypt is a friendly party to both sides. I'm not worried about South Sudan as much as I worry about North Sudan, quite frankly. That's not number one. Number two, when there is a crisis or a shortage of something, you have to find alternatives, and we have alternatives. If you change your irrigation style from water dumping to what shall I say?
Purification.
No, not purification. What I mean, you are now irrigating in Egypt with covering the fields with water, not through spraying water from pipes.
Yes.
If you do that...
Oh, you mean like water grids that people would do in their landscaping, but that's going to cost a bit. But let's not talk about the cost, or maybe let's talk about the cost, but from another perspective. I mean, strategically, geographically, demographically, Egypt lies in a very, very crucial point on the map. And I'm really surprised when people really worry about, we're not going to have water by time. But I mean, you are lucky enough from God to give you 3 different lanes of water. You have the Mediterranean Sea, you have the Red Sea, and then you have the Nile. And you just need to work a bit hard to find means of purifying water.
Purification and desalination.
Yes.
Can be the solution.
Yes.
If you remember,
it's going to employ more jobs when you come up with that kind of factories or, whatever industries that are required for this field. And you're going to also be able to save water. It's going to be much more cheaper. You have a lot of water on many sides.
You have to change your classical way of thinking in irrigation, in solving a problem. If you remember, some 10, 15 years ago, some Europeans came to Saudi Arabia with a project to cut huge blocks of southern pole ice and drag it covered to Saudi Arabia to supply it with fresh water. Okay, they will lose a part on the way, but they will keep the rest. But the cost was tremendous that they couldn't continue with it.
Yes.
But desalination is quite a solution, and especially that Egypt now is moving to renewable energy from solar energy and the non
renewable energy. But the thing is that because water seems to be the only free of cost thing that is available currently for Egyptians, so they're a bit worried that even that they won't have the chance. But let's get to know more through this report on what has been reached or completed so far regarding the GERD, or the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, in this report, and we'll be back again to further analyze with Mr. Ahmad Ezz.
While Egypt, Ethiopia and Sudan are awaiting 2 studies being conducted by French firms BRL and Artilia on Ethiopia's Renaissance Dam's impacts, many experts predict that the dam will operate and start its first filling process in 2017, regardless of the report's recommendations. The reports, which are expected to take 11 months to complete, were just started last month. Some observers say that both Egypt and Ethiopia can try to settle on 2 main things: the operational process of the dam and the number of years dedicated to filling it. They listed some facts that Egypt must consider while negotiating with Ethiopia, such as connecting the construction time plan with the impact assessment time plan, as the construction should go hand in hand with the negotiations and assessment, not 10 times faster as is the case right now. This is in addition to reducing the storage capacity of the dam, because Ethiopia does not need to store 74 billion cubic meters, which is equivalent to the annual share of the Nile water of Egypt and Sudan combined. A number of water experts argue that Egypt should negotiate with the Ethiopians on reducing the height of the project's smaller side dam, which is currently set at 45 meters high, and try to reduce it to between 20 to 22 meters, as the current height would allow the dam to hold 60 billion cubic meters of water. The main dam, although 145 meters high, will only retain 14 billion cubic meters of water, as it is surrounded by 16 electricity-generating turbines. Meanwhile, legal experts say the March declaration signed last year by the leaderships of the 3 countries did not stipulate that any of the 3 countries can resort to international arbitration, so Egypt will continue on negotiating to minimize the threats it could suffer from the Ethiopian dam. They also say that even if Egypt and Ethiopia agreed on solving the technical disputes, they would still need to meet to sign protocols in terms of the operation, security and management of the dam.